Yeah.
Good lighting. One, two, three. Three. Three and four. Okay, we're live.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Yeah,
Welcome.
good day, guys. Good day.
Good day, good day.
Welcome to Ultra Gobi.
We're here at Gobi Springs in Gansu Province, China,
Yes.
broadcasting live to bring you some coverage of the 2025 Ultra Gobi 400.
Yes.
250 miles if you're in the States, or 800 li if you're in China, but
400K.
400 kilometers.
At the right place, yeah? So I'm Jack.
And I'm Brian.
We two are going to be here with you for the next couple of days. Well, actually, next 5 days.
Yes.
So each day we'll have 3 to 4 hours with you online. The coverage we have is relatively limited because we also want to go on the course to see the runners, to see the course, and we'll bring you the first-hand information. But today, as a beginning, the race actually started last night. Brian was also running one of our race in the Ultra Gobi series for 120K. If he's talking about nonsense, it's not his fault.
I apologize. I am a little tired right now.
Yeah, but in general, this is a go-to person. I would ask if I want any inside information because him also the winner of Ultra Gobi 400 last year, our male champion here. He knows every bit of that 500 kilometers. But this year we toned the course a little bit. Only 25% is the same comparing to what you had, but
that's one of the great things about Ultra Gobi is one of the main concepts is that it's open course and self-navigation. So between all of the different checkpoints, you can choose your route. You could literally go 90 degrees off course to go around some mountains, to go around some bad terrain, or cut the corners. If there's it's not recommended, but I forget the official term is they provide a GPS route, a reference route. I think is the preferred term. And most runners, I think, follow that in its entirety. But if you're looking to find easier terrain or find a shorter section, you can do that. And changing the course every year is really key to that, because if I were to go back and run the course I ran last year, I know it already, but I can also know where to improve on that route finding.
Yes.
So
no,
it's fun.
Not gonna happen. We cannot let you take advantage of being here. So
exactly.
Just in case
there is no Ultra Gobi 400 course. There is Ultra Gobi.
Yes, exactly. So let's say the coordinates we gave is about the checkpoint, about the resting station, but in between it's all up to you. You can climb the mountain if you want. You can also go around. You can try to avoid the river crossing if you're clever to plan the routes, like what you did. I heard last year, but this year people might take different approach. So each year is different, and the runners have their own strategy. Either follow our referral that they can just follow everyone, or they can study the route, look at the elevation, think about their strengths. Are they good? Anyone, could be you, could be me, good at downhill, uphill. So which part is your specialty? They can plan ahead. This is not only physically running, it's also a mind game.
A lot of mind game. I mean, even I was looking at the course, and you can, if you've been on the course before, you can know that different sorts of more difficult or slower, challenging terrain is at certain elevations, and even certain colors on satellite maps, and you can be like, I want to go around that.
Yes.
So
we will talk about that. We will do a little bit of review later in the process, but before that, I think we can do a quick review on what happened from the start of the race last night.
So that started at 9:30. There's a big ceremony at 9 o'clock last night, and the race got underway at 9:30. But let's take a look at that.
Yeah. Okay. 我们导播的同事 Okay, our staff will help me to put the race recap video to the start, and then we can switch to that. 国长，我们转一下昨天的那个片子，从开头开始，我们的电片从头开始。
Screen 3. Just go to screen. Oh, screen. How do we? Is there a way for us to mute? No.
This is life, a true life.
And unmute us.
Okay, unmute. We are now online, Brian. Here we go. Okay, that was something. That was something. I was busy organizing the start. I didn't see this part. You were running.
I was 7 hours or 7.5 hours into a race of my
but-
own, so.
Yeah, look at it. I did hear from some of the runners from overseas. They said, "Oh, Jack, I was actually really deciding, which one is the best race I've ever been." Now I think it's an easy task.
Yeah, of all the two Ultra Gobis I ran, the 400s I've run, the opening ceremonies have been spectacular each time, and I think that continued this year.
Yeah. To give you a bit more information, so the star we chose is that I call that magic cube, but it's modern art made of with steel, but it's a cube in the middle of Gobi
It's
Desert.
a huge landscape piece of art. I mean, we're talking. It's not maybe 20 meters tall. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah,
It's
I have to look at.
maybe
like
30
that.
meters. It's
Good
enormous.
30 meters, yeah, and it's small.
It's like a cube that's kind of off angle, and
Yeah.
it's got some openings in it, and
Yeah.
the runners got to run through those openings.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. So to think about all these science fiction movies that you are in the alien
Yeah.
planet, then
I can hear the
something
music in my ears right now.
Exactly. So plus the light we put together with the flags. The runners this year, they have their own time at the start.
Mm-hmm.
They sent off individually, so everyone get off every 15 seconds. So they will have all the audience watching them, cheering for them. They just
Now, do we know what
left
the
and they got
official
out.
rule is on that in terms of like the finishing? Are they taking off those 15 seconds?
Exactly. The timing start from the time
When
they
they-
leave. Yeah,
Well, that'll
we
be
have,
that'll be an interesting decision if two runners decide to try to finish together, whether they'll honor the spirit of the tie or they'll.
well, they need to have the man game to decide. Are we gonna hold hand to hand to cross the line?
But if they started 15 seconds apart, hopefully the race will.
Yeah, we will see. Yeah, but out of 400K, would anyone, any two, any three, to cross the line
100%. Yeah.
together or not?
I think it's such a long and meaningful experience. I mean, there are a few people in this race who are trying to compete. A lot of people are trying to finish this. They're trying to do their own best.
Yes.
It's not about, you want your the other people on the course to do as well as they can. And often that means working together or just having company. I know last year, the first 27 hours of the race, I was running with Benny Rue from South Africa. We didn't know each other until that week and just literally by chance fell into each other's company 100 meters in or 200 meters in. And 27 hours later, we were still running together. But especially if you're getting toward the end of the race, I think a lot of runners like to stay together and work together.
Yeah, I know a couple of runners, they already decided they're going to work together, they're going to run together, they're going to finish together. So basically, Lucy and her brother, Jack, they're going to go together. Definitely, they chose the same finish line music. I was asking the question, how are you going to do the same for both of you? Oh, yeah, we're going to run together, we're going to finish together.
That's cool.
So one pair, we already know, this is going to apply, they will cross the line together. Okay, we talk quickly about the start of yesterday, but some of you might have no clue about what is Ultra Gobi. Brian, you have been here. This is third time. This is only my second time. You know more than me.
So back in, we're going to talk about just the 400 right now because the Ultra Gobi history goes beyond this. But for the 400, it was first run as a trial edition in 2014. A handful of runners, I want to say 9. I could be off slightly, but about 9 runners went and did a route and proved that this could be done. And some of those runners are back again this year, 11 years later.
Yes.
They have a special title, a special general title.
Our 标记 general. Yeah.
And they're given a lot of respect, and they were the true trailblazers of this race. The first open edition was 2015.
Yeah, they tested the line basically.
Yeah.
There's lots of unknown. Can human being survive the desert, the Gobi Desert? Can anybody do it in one go for the 400K? So
and yes,
they are the I would say the stepstone for all of us.
They are the pioneers.
Yeah.
And then 2015, the race had its inaugural edition for the open registration.
Yes.
And that went through to 2019. The race did take a break for a couple years during and after COVID, and came back last year as strong as ever in 2024. So this is the 10th anniversary, I guess, of the standard edition of Ultra Gobi 400.
Yes, it is kind of special to us.
And it's also the 20th anniversary of the Ultra Gobi concept even more broadly, which we'll talk about more in the coming days, hours. But
yeah, it's Ultra Gobi series is not only the Ultra Gobi, the 400K.
In reality, that's a very, very the most work probably, but the very small part.
It's also very famous too. You have to mention, but we also have the different distance. 121, like the one you did, and the shorter ones. As the whole series. So we will mention that later, give you some idea on what we do here. But this part is to tell you what is Ultra Gobi basically. Brian being here third time, got a lot of insight, and also we're gonna have a little bit of a flashback on what we had last year, because both of us were here last year, we got lots of experience, and we're comparing to what we have this year. And this is a nice piece of map we didn't have.
This is a beautiful piece of art. I mean,
I think we can show to people.
Just a general concept, just a great drawn visual of the route. That was the first thing that the runners from this year's race saw of the course. The course is generally released approximately a month, maybe a little bit more before the race. And that's not to say the runners don't know what to expect. Like the details change, but it's always in the same general area. It could be 200 kilometers to the west of this area, or it could be 200 kilometers to the east. But the terrain is similar in broad strokes. So you're going to get some elevation change, but not an incredible amount. You're going to go across wide open Gobi terrain. We'll talk about what that is, but you're going to go over some mountain ranges. Hopefully not too many sand dunes.
Now we have a bit of live from our camera van, so I will switch to that quickly.
And speaking of Gobi terrain, as if by command, this is Gobi terrain. It is wide open, generally pretty hard-packed ground with small rounded pebbles. This one has tire tracks and is not quite even, but when it's flatter, more even terrain. I remember I had a marathon in 2015, where I tried at times to close my eyes and keep running and see how long I could run in a straight line, because the surface was so even, and there was no consequence if you fell, because there was just these little rounded pebbles and dirt.
Yes.
So the race does a really good job, at least in the past, where they'd checkpoint by checkpoint describe what that terrain was like. Not in detail every 100 meters, but this one is 8 kilometers of Gobi terrain, or this one is 5 kilometers of Gobi, and then 3 kilometers of sand dunes, or whatever that next terrain is.
I don't think we disclose that much. We want to keep it not a secret, but something for the runners.
This year was a little less.
Yeah. So they want to see. They need to study. They want to look at the terrain. They want to see the elevation. So again, this is a man game. The planning is essential, and also how you evaluate yourself. What's your ability? What's your strengths?
Yeah.
And that changes with how many miles you are taking in, right?
Yeah.
So the first 100K or 200K, you might be fast and fresh. After 2 nights not sleep, everything changes. Yeah, that's people who follow trail running, people follow normal trail running race like 100K, 100 mile. 100 mile can be different. You can do 2 nights.
Yeah.
But Ultra Gobi, we're talking about multiple nights, and also it's dry, it's flat, it could be empty. You lost your orientation, then everything became much more difficult than normal.
Yeah, I mean, I remember last year in the course, there were a lot of, it's a little less this year, but last year there were a bunch of times where there was just a straight bearing, let's say west for 25 kilometers, 15 miles, and it was a night without a moon, so there's no marking. There's no marking. So you're trying to stay on a straight line at night, and there was no moon, so you couldn't see a mountain or something on the horizon to stay focused on.
Yeah.
So, like navigation,
Yes.
and if you really hope your navigation doesn't die. That happened to one of the top competitors last year, and they didn't have a backup that they knew how to use or work, or so.
Yeah. So actually the backup also failed. I know a bit more on the story, but
I had four separate systems last year.
yes.
Just because you don't.
Listen to the champion. Yeah, you want to win, you need to be 200, 300, 400% sure on what you are doing and be prepared for that. We quickly talk about the last year, and now you have a look on how the Gobi terrain will look like. As soon as we have a bit of drone footage.
Let's see that.
It's not designed for us, but we will take a bit of
just a look.
spare time of the drone, because the drone we have here is more for the security and safety for our runners. They will be cruising along the course. But if we're lucky, we have a special channel designed for us for a while.
Which would be really cool. I mean, it's really incredible. There are times where you don't know where the other runners are. You could be 10 kilometers from the nearest person, not just another runner, the nearest person, maybe even more.
Yeah.
And in that, there's tremendous security, like not just checking in and out of the checkpoints. One advantage is on this course is that you can drive a lot of places. Like it's wide open country, and they have access to cross. There's a lot of primitive roads or just country they can drive across. But there's this, I would say it's a 2-meter fixed wing drone that has both, I think it has visual cameras, but I think it also has infrared.
Yeah, infrared.
So I think they're flying a lot generally, but especially if there's a runner and they kind of sense based on timing or whatnot that there's trouble, or the GPS isn't moving for a while,
exactly,
and they haven't told someone.
Exactly.
They can see, that person is just walking ahead slowly or what have you. So
yeah, normally if you see this little dot that I'm gonna switch to our race map.
Yeah, can you zoom out on that if you can as well?
Okay, now we can see our race map here. The runners will look like small dots.
And not only is there the drone that's following the runners when needed, I assure you that, I mean, there's 8 or 10 people right behind me. We're in the command center, and they're following your track. There's a whole grid of who's in. If somebody has any problems, they put them up in a yellow category or a red category, and I guess move them down into a green area once that's resolved. You're being watched, and as wild as it feels.
In a good way, we have different color of post-it as well.
Yeah.
So it's like a remark, got the first-hand information from the art station or CP. Then people will tell us, okay, for example, a brand number 240 got a bit of stomach issue.
Yeah, he's vomiting in the aid station. No, but like that's a thing. Like
yeah, exactly.
And so maybe maybe they would be yellow. I don't know particularly, but like that's it. It's a pretty once I saw the command center for the first time, I was really impressed. I mean, you're safer on the Ultra Gobi 400 course than you are probably out on a training run.
Exactly.
Because you also are carrying a GPS the whole time, so
that's part of the mandatory gear. I think we'll find some time to talk about.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows what's behind this, and it's just like, oh, those folks are going on the Gobi Desert and do a 400K run. It's a lot more than just that, and it's preparation, mandatory gear check. Also,
choosing your gear.
Choosing your gear.
I mean, there was a DNF last year because of hypothermia, because you can go with the very lightest things, so you're carrying less weight, but are you going to be warm enough? I mean, and sometimes the gear requirement might seem a little silly. Like I was doing the 121 yesterday, and they required goggles and eye drops, and I was thinking to myself when I had to order these on Amazon because I've never used them in a race, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Yeah. And I ended up going not blind, but I couldn't see out of one eye in the race yesterday at the end because of tremendous wind, which we can talk about in a bit.
Yeah.
I'd love to walk through the start of the course a little bit.
Yes.
This year's race started. We're at Gobi Springs, which is where the race finishes, and the race started a few kilometers away at the Cube here. And then crossed a whole lot of, not quite alluvial fan, but just wide open Gobi terrain. I've not been on this particular section of land, but and you say I said wide open Gobi terrain, but it looks like after CP1 to CP2, in general, a lot of the checkpoints are about 10 to 15 kilometers apart.
Yes.
I won't go into the details of distances on this because we're just walking through this. Then it looked like it got some pretty rough terrain, except the course was able to follow, if not I think there is a road in that river valley, but also it just could be a little bit flat, more even terrain rather than.
Yeah, that's where they have lots of
river crossings.
River crossing at night.
In the wind.
In the wind.
Which we'll have to talk to about separately. The wind last night. So this whole first section, we're at about 1 mile in elevation here, about 1,600 meters at Gobi Springs, and this whole first section of the race was a climb to the high point, which is 3,000 meters, 3,200 meters almost. So 10,500 feet was the high point at CP5.
Yeah. From the data, we should say 3,425.
Oh, at the high point.
At the highest point.
Got it. Okay, I'm just looking at the checkpoint elevations.
The checkpoint is slightly lower.
Yeah. Which is pretty high, especially if one is not acclimated.
Yes.
So almost like over 11,000 feet then.
Exactly.
So yeah. It would be really interesting. They went up along after CP3, which is the first rest point, and we should pause to clarify the difference. A checkpoint on the course does have usually a vehicle, a small tent that you're not supposed to use as a competitor. Basically, you'll have a small table, maybe some low stools, and room temperature. Just here's a bottle of water. And
it could be frozen at that time.
Yeah. So it's very simple. It's more or less you have a timing card that you scan in. If you want to sit and take a little break, you can, but it really is a checkpoint rather than it's not an aid station as known in a Western race.
No, you're not supposed to stay there. We don't want to stay there as well because it's relatively small and basic, and also in the Gobi Desert, the temperature changes. During the day it could be super hot in the tent. In the evening could be frozen. That's why I mentioned the water could be frozen. And also there's the race rule that you can stay for 2 hours.
It's 2 hours now.
Total,
it used to be 1 hour. Oh,
in total, throughout. Otherwise, you get a time penalty.
I assume that means you spent like a significant portion, because you're going to spend 4 minutes filling up water. I'm sure they're not timing those stops. But this is like if you need to enter the tent, enter the car. I didn't realize that was an in total rule.
In total, but you were too fast. It's a different
But I think that's
story.
probably also like a somewhat not flexible, but like it's not meant to really penalize the runners. It's more of like someone is really taking a nap.
And also the capacity. Imagine we have 25 people arrive at the same time, want to spend time in the 4-person tent.
And I'm saying don't think a big like event tent. We're talking literally a 4 or 6 person, like by capacity, maximum capacity. Maybe there's a car there at a given time. Usually there is.
But usually we have 3 people there already. 2 volunteer to help with the timing, doing shifts, and 1 driver to be, literally going everywhere, flexible.
So that's a checkpoint. So we talk about checkpoints. We're talking just the basic. And then a rest point. The runners are allowed to stay as long as they'd like within the time limit. It's usually a series of a couple inflatable large event tents. They often have a heater in them. There'll be a generator with some power outlets that people can charge equipment. There is, in addition to the bottle of water, there is hot water. So if you want to make some cup of noodle or tea or coffee, or I've had a lot of camping meals in the past.
Also, we need to mention something special in our station is your drop box. Remember, you have a drop box.
Oh yeah. So in this race, I don't know what the rules were this year. Last year, we think we had 6 drop boxes. So most of them went to 2 different rest points. So like someone would go to R1 and R6, and you'd have a change of shoes, change of clothes, extra food that you want to carry on.
Yes, it's about planning. I still remember that. It's the same thing, by the way. We have 6 drop boxes this year as last year. Then you have, for example, R5 and R6 as individual station that you only have one stop there. But some of the boxes you can use 2 times. For example, R1 go to R7 too, R2 go to R9 too. So you see the box twice. So when you do the planning, there's lots of work there too. Again, back to the brain.
It is a mental race.
A mental race, mind game there. You need to plan ahead. Think about what you're gonna feel like. What do you want to have? A can of beer or Coke? Do I want a hot soup or meal? So
or if you need to carry the little chargers for your phone, like do you put them in one that goes to 2 places, or where you think you're going to need to charge? Like,
exactly.
Or do you have one in each of your boxes? So or do you carry it with you? But then you're carrying this extra thing and that extra thing, and
it's a fun part. It's a fun part.
I love that.
Could be torture for some people, but it's also the fun part. That is also unique. That the job box is gonna be done by you, not someone else. That you're gonna take care of yourself. You're gonna think ahead. You're gonna plan everything in detail. As much as to how many boxes of gels or how many pieces your favorite cracker you're gonna have there. Everything will be in a box, and once we receive it, it will be sealed and shipped out. You cannot change.
It's pretty cool. Otherwise, I mean, there's no at the 400 specifically. There's not food or anything like that at either the checkpoints or rest points other than what you pack for the rest points. I guess at 1 or 2 checkpoints last year, there was clearly provided, like, out of the kindness of the aid station, they might have like a little cup of tea, like within the spirit of ultra running, like
Yes.
if they're sharing their little cup of tea, like you have that, or there might be a little bowl of fresh fruit.
Yes.
But you can't.
Oh, that's
You can't.
luxury.
You can't rely on that. That's just a kind of trail magic, as we would
Yes.
call it in the
Yes.
States.
Okay, our colleague at the backstage just shared quickly. We have some audience from our runners and the relatives.
Awesome, wonderful. I guess we have a bunch of people watching in Serbia, huh?
Yeah, Jovita, go Jovita, and Damien. This is friends from South Africa. We have 3 South African runners.
Of course we do. South Africans love this race.
Go Rainbow Country. Okay, Damien. Oh, Damien got a friend there.
Yeah.
Talking about that, and Jovita too. Okay, we have the French people coming.
Indeed.
Courage, Matthias. Okay, we have 2 French runner. Also, we have Sebastien and Matthias.
And Sangue
Is living
halftime.
in France, half French already. So, okay, allez, vas-y le bleu. So, for our dear audience in front of the screen, please share this information to your friends. We will be broadcasting 2 to 4 hours a day at least.
Yeah.
In the coming days, we'll give you the first-hand information.
Yeah, we're gonna pass along when those scheduled times are. Not a scramble for today, but I couldn't commit quite to a time because I was out running the 121 yesterday.
Oh, thank you very much for joining me. We were worried that you could be too tired just for
I did take a little nap, but thankfully this was pushed back a couple hours later than planned. Well, not fortunately, because you were helping a runner who had to withdraw from the race as they broke a thumb. And that sounds like, you could, maybe if you were running a normal 50K or 100-kilometer race with marked trail, well, you eat your gels with your other hand and do that sort of thing.
But you look pretty good, without sleeping for the night and kept running, and you quite fast in that wind. So well done.
So we were walking through the course, and they were up to CP5, which was near the high point of the course, up in the mountains.
So for our audience in front of the screen, you can go to our website at ultragobiseries.com to look for further information.
So look under news, and there'll be the latest article under news will have the link to both the live stream, but also to the tracking.
And also you can find our race photos there to look for your friends and family there. Okay, quickly, we are on the men's ranking.
Who do we got there? Is that
Cordy is first. After that's Aaron from American too. You got 2.
Yeah, but we have somebody on the camera right now.
Okay, cool. Let's quickly switch. All right. Cannot really see who that is.
Well, it's either Cody or Aaron.
It looks like Cody to me.
This is my first time seeing these video feeds, so I can't. Soon enough, I'll know what packs people have and what their clothing is. It's a little backlit, so we have two.
That's Cordy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Cordy.
Who's our current leader on the course?
It's 236. Number 236, Cordy.
Okay.
From the US.
And he's leading. We'll go through that. Yeah, the kind of rankings here. We might as well do it right now, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty incredible how fast. Sorry, I just reloaded on my. Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna reload that again. But the they're taking it out really fast. When I saw how far they were when I got to the desk here, I mean they're just at 18 hours into the race, and Cody, our current leader, is approaching 150 kilometers, including they climbed to the high point of the race, the highest elevation. 12 of those hours were at night, so kind of slow going. I don't know what the terrain will. You can see what the terrain looks like on the map, but you never really know what it is like, how fast or how slow until you're on the ground and see it. But it's possible that Cody could be closing in on 200 kilometers, the halfway mark, by the end of the first day, which would be truly incredible.
So
But
by the time should be around dawn, darkish. Yeah, in a couple of hours.
yeah, we got about 4 hours till headlamps on.
Yeah, so second night starts. The race is getting into interesting part. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think any of the front runners will necessarily sleep tonight, but I can't say that for sure. It's actually really interesting this year's start being in at night. That means all these runners were awake all day yesterday and last night. For all the front runners, I'm sure none of them slept. So it'll be interesting to see if they sleep tonight or if they wait to sleep tomorrow night or a little bit of both. So I look forward to seeing what that, because that's, again, putting all of the pieces together, the learning the route, planning what works for you, the logistics of packing the drop boxes in the mandatory gear, and sleep plan. Sometimes you just have to sleep, but a lot of the front runners will have a plan.
Not to sleep.
Not to sleep very much. I definitely heard somebody who's talking about taking 190-minute sleep for the entire race. And again, if I only slept 3 hours last year all at one time, but that was a morning start, and that changes the game because that's 12 less hours more or less of being awake than this year. So before you start the race. So
Night start is always interesting. Adding a little bit of
it's a little wrinkle, a little
room to imagine, and second night into it,
Yeah.
how they're gonna behave.
So it looks like, as I think has been the case, Aaron from the United States is in second right now. He's about, I guess, just about 10 kilometers, maybe a little more behind Cody. He's passed out of checkpoint 11, where Jovica from Serbia currently is. But those two aren't that far apart. I don't think
they could be together.
It could be, depending on when the update was. They could be running together. You're right. But it's interesting, that section that those top three runners are, I guess, kind of Cody's wrapping up and Aaron is going on to and Jovica is going on to. It traverses, and often in a trail race, if you're contouring along a similar elevation profile, it's easy. Like, you're like, oh, I get to run. This is fun. Oh my God, nightmares of contouring at Ultra Gobi, because even if it's relatively even terrain, it's not even. The way that the soil is here, in all sorts of different soils, and there's all these little mountain ranges. So often coming off those mountain ranges, you have these just divots, and you don't know if they could be 6 inches, they could be 6 feet, they could be 6 meters.
Until you face them.
And right now they're going across those, and it could be relatively fast, but it could also be nightmare fuel.
Yeah. So if you look at our screen, so those runners, they're actually following
screening a little bit like, yeah.
So those runners, they are actually following our recommended route. So there is a possible shortcut from the map.
Yeah, I would.
And they didn't choose it.
I probably would have
cut it.
I would have gone on the road. Honestly, there's a paved road, and I would have gone down. I'm pointing to it. That doesn't really work, but just straight north out of that checkpoint. There's drainages that go to the flats and then out to the paved road, and it might add a little bit, but to escape contouring in that terrain. And it's not just about being faster. It's, from my standpoint, it's how efficiently are you moving? Like not just cardiovascular and endurance wise, but are you all those little support muscles?
Yes. Yes,
Like you're going up and down, like you're gonna face like those challenges because you have to at some point. And I don't know, basically any time I could last year, actually in both years, I would go out of my way if it was a 15-kilometer section and I had to go 1 or even 2 kilometers to jump on a paved road. And I far prefer running across country or far prefer running on a trail. But when you're talking about 400 kilometers, taking the easier, more efficient terrain can really add up over time.
Okay, I put us on the screen as well. This part, yes. So guys, who are in front of the screen, so this is the champion from last year. What he said is basically what he used, all his strategic. Yep. So now we have this piece of a map we are showing on the screen. So I will ask him how he would plan from CP12 to CP13. Yeah.
But
So,
I'll go back, and now that I'm re-looking at the course, I didn't.
yeah. So I think
I did look at this before from CP11 to CP12. I don't know that I would have actually taken the road because I would have had to cut back up to CP12.
But on the screen that I'm showing to everybody,
Yeah.
So from CP12 to go to CP13.
Yeah,
let's hear what the champion from last year would do.
I would look at it a little bit more, but if I'm looking at my knowledge from CP12 to 13, I'm looking at the elevation for a very particular reason. Yeah, so these runners have in the lead have not been on an Ultra Gobi course. It looks to me that some of the terrain there is actually the most heinous running surface I've ever been on. I don't know if it is, I can't confirm unless I actually see it, but around 150 kilometers, there could be patches there's this alkali soil here that often has grass in it, but think of like tufts of grass that there's not enough room to step between, and then in between it, there's this soil that also collapses,
Yep.
and it is, Betsy Kalmar and I in 2015 called it camel crud, and it's just,
It feels like you're running limping.
it's awful. Like this is, if I'd have to study it a little bit more. Maybe that isn't, maybe that's just a different color patch, but it's the right elevation for it, and it's could be the right color. So this would be again where I would want to, if I was planning for the race, I would measure, like I would get on some plan, measure how long it is to go on the paved road, and then up to CP13 versus taking the direct line.
Yeah.
And in a case like that, I might have both routes on my phone, which is what I use to navigate primarily, and kind of just take a visual look at what that terrain looks like from a distance.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, I know you want to say something.
Yeah. So I studied Brian last year on his route along the coast. I was on the broadcasting team as well. When we watch how Brian is planning or actually run his route, to my understanding, a typical brand will cut from CP12 on the road. As you can, I don't know if you can see my mouse on the map. So from where Cody is, so brand from last year would go on the road, easy, and find a junction where he can join some of the smaller road. It could be some old industrial or field or farming field, and joined a small path straight and cut through and reach CP13. Although it's longer, we know that this is more like a triangle. So if you take two sides, it's longer than one side.
But that's my point, is it's not always about, there were times when I cut corners and I ran less than 400 kilometers maybe around 390 because I was cutting some places. Cutting has a bad connotation. I was taking a shorter route as permitted.
Yeah.
But there was other times where the slightly longer route is I think personally better, because there's also I don't know, part of it's just gauging things like so this is the road here, but possibly cutting on a diagonal here. I have a sense of having studied the Gobi a bunch of times, is this yellow, or not yellow, but in my mind it's yellow because in the Gobi it's yellow. There's this is like hard packed mud in a good way. Like this is just a hard, mostly flat, like pretty easy surface. So it's a question of like this terrain in here between CP12 and 150 kilometers. That doesn't look great to me.
Yep. So this is a fun part to watch. Yeah. Which route Gordy gonna take? If Gordy is taking the referred from us, the referred route from us, and someone behind him is taking a different route. Who is that? Jovesa or Aaron
yeah.
behind? Then it could change the game just over 1 CP easily.
Yeah.
So this is also the fun part of Ultra Gobi, how we can see the runners change their position.
And it's
Just over
somebody
1 CP.
can be running faster than someone else, and that could be the determining factor. But it can be route finding. I mean, you maybe saw that last year.
Yes.
What happened between
top three.
R8 and
Yes, exactly.
one checkpoint later.
Yeah, we will remember that. This is a classic game between runners.
But even, we were talking about Cody, Aaron, and Jovisa kind of being the top three. I don't know if I think he was running in fourth place for a while. John Shield from the UK, he dropped out. He was a front runner early.
Yes.
And that early pace, I think, reportedly got to him. But Sangay Sherpa, this is not his first Ultra Gobi. He was here last year and finished second. He, generally speaking, doesn't try to go too fast. He's pretty content to go along. He went out maybe slightly fast last year, maybe again this year, but he has so much experience. I wish I could pull up really quickly his results from this year, because he ran the Pyrenees 900.
Okay,
he ran. It was a Tour de Glacier.
I have been there in Europe this summer, so I.
So what is he?
I know everything.
Let me know what Sangay's been up to. Let us know.
Okay, this is more like chit chat time. We don't really have a runner at this moment on our screen. So Sangay Sherpa, my dear friend Sangay. So he's a little bit crazy in my mind. Let me tell you why.
Tell me why.
From the beginning of August, transparently 900K. So basically, you start from the Mediterranean Sea, and you reach the Atlantic Ocean. So the whole Pyrenees Mountains is your course. Yeah. So he did 900K at the beginning of August in about 12 days. Yeah, that's insane. It's 80K a day.
Not flat.
Not flat. In the Pyrenees, this is the second famous mountain range in Europe. So he did that in 12 days. So after that, yes, he went to the Gian in Italy for 330K. But before that, he did Swiss.
Oh, the 330.
Swiss peak 700.
Oh,
700, my friend.
Oh, by the way, last week he ran the Trail World Championships in Confront, Spain.
And that's a recovery run, he told me.
Totally.
Yeah, recovery run. So 3 races, he did almost 2,000 K. Mm-hmm. Plus the World Championship, he represented Nepal for 80K run. He called that recovery.
So we'll have to see. I mean, he is so fit. I mean, and so strong and so ready for this continuous long running. But also, there's a small wild card, and I don't think it'll happen, but just that distance catches, like all of those kilometers catch up with him at some point, whether it's during this race or later on. Like,
we'll see. But so far, he's feeling well. And last night, before we start the race, he was the order of setting off was actually from a draw. So he's relatively at the back. So he has the time waiting for all the others to go, and he was playing his flute.
Of course.
That's the beauty of watching Sangay Sherpa running.
So let's I want to just wrap up kind of our look at the top men here. And that Cody's right at 145 kilometers in the lead, and I'm going to have you help me at around 120 kilometers. We have fifth place, who's a Chinese runner. Who's that, Jack?
That's Ni Yusheng, number 261. So, well, I happen to know him as well in person. So
Has he done this before, or is he?
He has never done ultra distance like this. The longest distance he did was 200K.
Okay.
In Chongli. There's a race called Chongli 100 mile.
Yeah.
So he did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's a big race here in China, an important race.
It's only 12,000 people.
I assume that's across all of the distances.
Yes. From 10K, 30K, 50K,
The festival.
100K, the festival altogether. But he never did anything more than 200K.
Okay.
So this is going to be a challenge for him, and he's a very keen marathon runner.
Okay.
So according to the data I have in hand, he ran most of the Grand Slam ultra marathons in China. Not ultra marathon, Grand Slam marathon, like the six top.
Oh, the world majors.
The world major,
Yeah.
world majors. So I love trails.
You're as tired as I am.
I love trails, guys. Marathon is another story. But
So that's interesting because he's coming
he
from
did the most. He did the most. He did 6 rounds.
So he's that's interesting. So he's coming from a marathon background, has done longer stuff, but it'll be interesting to see where I mean, not good or bad, but where he is now does not necessarily. It's early.
Yeah. So I would say let's see over 200K.
Yeah.
Maybe the race will start around 300K in some extent. Yeah.
As it did last year. And then there's I don't want to overplay, but there's a large gap back to sixth place man, or that's Jonathan Shield, who's listed as sixth, but he's withdrawn from the race. So Damien Kuhn would be in sixth place, and that's back near 100 kilometers. So again, anything can change based on strategy, but not looking at like a podium at this point, but that anything can happen. So we've got top 5 men we've just talked about. It doesn't look like there's a filter. Oh, you have a neat ranking. I haven't played. Oh, there we go. And can we filter that by women? I can't on my computer. It doesn't look like.
Let's use one. We'll have another link for you later.
Yeah. Okay. So the women's ranking, and I'm going to defer to this until I can get a little pronunciation guide on it. Okay. Out of respect, I'm not going to.
Okay, let's call her Junyue. That's our
Guanjun general from last year, the top woman from last year.
Yes. So I know her well as well, and just as Sangi, she just did the Transparency 900K this summer in August. She was about a day later than Sangi. She finished.
Not so far back.
Yeah, not so far back, over 900K. She also went to UTMB, did a little bit of running at OCC.
Okay.
And after that, he just finished to the Glacier. So it's an upgrade version for the to the Giannis.
Like 450 kilometers or more or less. Yeah.
So, but that one got no marking.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good.
Learned something today.
Yeah, it's a good practice for her to prepare again for Ultra Gobi. So it's self-navigation with a lot of elevation up and down in the Italian mountains.
But with her and Sange, that's so impressive in the same season. It can be one thing to be a really strong endurance athlete and be capable of covering long distances, and maybe I could envision doing an Ultra Gobi 1 year and a Tour de Glacier another year, because at a Tour de Glacier, it's have you prepared to be able to hike uphill consistently forever, and have you prepared for your quads to handle tens of thousands of meters of descent, whereas at Ultra Gobi, it's can you run with a minimum 4 kilogram pack. A lot of runners a couple more than that, even at the front of the field, and just run continuously. And those are two very different skill sets to have in a short season, like within one season or within a month or two.
Yes. So I think it's worth to invite them, either Sangye or Junior, afterwards when they finish, to just discuss how, or just ask them how they can balance all this and how they can recover in between all this ultra long distance. What did they do? What they eat? How they sleep? How they do all the recovery with their physician, for example. What about the injury? What about the food? We need to know more about that. All these super people, superhuman doing all this kind of super stuff.
And it'd be one thing even if it was just two big events like that in a season, but this is one after another after another. Yeah,
and keep it relatively high standard on the podium, finish first, this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Amazing,
it would not surprise me
stuff.
one bit if Sangye was on the podium, and I'd almost be surprised if he wasn't on the podium at the end.
We will see.
Yeah.
It's still too early in the race. As we said last year, you take it easy for 300K plus.
Yep.
Then you kind of get your way out. And how would this change Sangye, for example? He saw how you run. He had the experience with the other race. How would he take it? And this year he's definitely holding up.
Yeah.
Last year he was leading.
Yeah.
Right? And most of the game I follow him, he will be leading top 2, top 3. But this time, after 2, 3 longer distance, and he's holding up.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing or bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing, but that's my personal bias. So
We will see.
So tell us about the rest of the top 10, or top, 3 or 4 women.
Okay, so let's look into top 6.
Okay,
because
perfect.
the top 3 are all Chinese ladies.
Well, we should talk about them.
Yes, we will. We have Guo Yang. All the pronunciation will be done by me for a certain period.
For a certain period, yeah, no, I think
until
that's not deferring. We'll have a little teaching session.
Just 2 words, with
Yeah,
time
but
you will get there. So top 3 are Chinese. Then we will follow with Lucy from the US. Oh, actually, this number 5 is also from China.
Yeah.
Then Sonia from Slovakia.
And Lucy was, I can tell you, Lucy was doing her homework. We definitely jumped on a phone call and, talked through.
I see. But there's a changing factor there. So at a certain point, Lucy will join Jack, his brother, together.
Okay.
Yeah, so earlier I mentioned they want to cross the land
I didn't.
together.
Okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together as I'm a little sleep tired.
Yeah.
She never. When Lucy and I were talking before the race, I guess a month ago or so. She didn't mention that her brother was also running the race. So that's.
Yeah, that's.
John. Okay.
Yeah. Jack Carey is also running. He's just out CP6. So I don't know if they plan to run separately at the beginning and then join together.
Okay.
But they plan to cross the finish line together. They also run for the charity. I will send the link out to share with people.
Cool.
But they have a charity to run for. Okay, back to Lucy. You mentioned she had some phone call with you. So she grabs all your master skills.
Not all. No,
I
mean,
planning.
whether it's for this race or when I live in a small town where the Hard Rock 100 is held, a lot of times I'll just go grab a coffee or a beer with somebody, especially from overseas, who comes to a race and isn't going to be as familiar with the area or the kind of conditions of the course, and walk them through it. And I did that for a number. I think I probably corresponded with 7 runners in this year, 4 international runners in this year's race, which I'm more than happy to do. I love doing it. I love talking about the race.
Good.
And
now you know the go-to person. If you happen to be in that area, ask Brian.
But for Ultra Gobi, I did that. I'm saying I did probably 6 or 7 runners for this year's race.
Oh, that's cool. Good to know.
Because there are so many. It's not like I put together a plan for them or told them what to use or whatever. But it's like answer their questions. There's so many details and aspects to put together that.
We can see Lucy is around 90, reaching 90 kilometers in the race. Slightly behind Junior, who is leading, but this is a long race, as we said. It's still too early to say who will be on the podium, who is not. We will give more gas after 300K. I think it's more reliable, relatively.
Yeah.
But at this stage, you can see the ranking and doesn't mean much to me.
What I'd love to, this is totally independent, and I don't think I've seen it much in the U.S. I'd love to, if you zoom out on the map itself, I'd love to be able to just see know who's in the women's race versus in the overall or the men's race. Either to have a filter or like
We'll figure out.
pink or some sort of code around the runner to be able to easily see that.
Okay.
But it's day one, and we might be able to figure that. It might actually exist. I'm just like,
It's technical. Normally, when we do the broadcasting, someone behind will do it for us. But now we have two teams doing
Yeah.
a live stream. Yeah, so we have the Chinese team there. We have us doing the YouTube live streaming. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit too stretched with the whole logistics. So me basically is doing it all here myself.
Yeah, you've got the master control there.
Sorry, bear with me.
Yeah, Jack's
with my
getting his
skill.
bearings on.
But maybe by the end of the day, of the race, I can grasp this. Is adding one more thing into my skill set. But for now, I don't know how to do that. We can only watch.
You got more information on your map than I do, so that's
That's good.
yeah.
But we can also, for example, we can also see Lucy's track.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, if the internet allow us. As you know, we have another race here. It's a much bigger one.
Yeah. So that.
You actually just finished it, yeah? So tell us a little bit more about it.
So the second event that was added to the Ultra Gobi series, before it was the Ultra Gobi series, was the A Plus race, which is 121 kilometers. That matches the even older stage race they have. And that course stays the same year to year. It's a marked course. There's a number of pretty simple checkpoints, but there are a couple checkpoints that do have food and various beverages, and yeah, it's more like a standard race. Like Ultra Gobi 400 is a standout, unique, very separate thing, whereas the 121 is a
race.
As more. I mean, it's not like Chinese for foreign audiences. It's not like Chinese ultra marathons or trail races don't have food at checkpoints. I was at a race at Mount Gonga last weekend, and yeah, there's food at the checkpoints. Like it's
Good
normal.
food.
Yeah.
Good food.
And the same as like there, not at every checkpoint at the 121, but there was food there, and it's a continuous race. It starts. I wish I could remember the name of the cultural site. There was a Silk Road site. There's I don't know if in this corner of the world if they're called stupas or chorten. It depends, because it's the same thing depending on where you are in Asia. But there's a very old stupa there, and I believe a walled city from the Silk Road days.
Yeah, to summarize that, everything happening is actually the ancient Silk Road.
Yeah.
So we're here along the course. If you go back to a few thousand years, well, maybe 1,000 years, it's actually what people
Even older,
did.
yeah.
That's where we went.
And we'll have plenty of time to talk about the history, because then we can go into kind of the inspiration for this race, the monk Chinsong.
Yeah, how our dear Master Xuanzang went through the whole thing.
Yeah, today is the finish of the A Plus race, the 121K solo continuous race. In the future, we'll talk about the stage races that go on as well. But I thought I saw some
shorter distance.
Yeah, people coming in today, like B runners.
The B runners and the C plus runners as well. So it depends on the distance, how we category the people, so A and B and C.
Jack was having a little problem with his internet because we do have a couple, maybe not a couple thousand at the moment, but many hundreds of folks using the mobile service and Wi-Fi here. And in case you want to know where we are in the middle of nowhere. City. There's two cities. There's Dunhuang, and what's the name of the other one?
It's Guazhou.
Guazhou.
Yeah.
And those are two small cities. They're cities though, and those cities are beyond remote. And we're in.
Let's try to use a map to give everyone an idea.
Zoom. That's the middle of nowhere. No, other way. Still nowhere.
Still no.
No. And so like
This is actually where we are. The restart. If you zoom, zoom and zoom. It took me an hour and a half to drive to Guangzhou, where we had.
Which is, can you point that out on the map? It should be.
Here is Guangzhou. So here, from here to where we started by car, I consider myself a fast driver.
Yeah. And there are good, like there's paved roads, except there's a driveway here, but like
an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And once we enter this area, guys, that's I got in the middle of nowhere.
And amazingly, there's normally fine mobile service here.
Welcome to China.
So everywhere.
All the towers we have, it's giving some basic coverage, but still, let's say around the 800K Ultra Gobi course, we have at least 2 points. We are struggling with the broadcasting. We are really struggling.
Yeah.
Basically nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, it might be just in the future to. I know there's been a lot of development for the Chinese satellite network, satellite internet network.
Okay. I don't know how many people we have in the live stream.
Do we even? Yeah, if anybody's on there, we'd love to hear who you are, any questions you have for this sort of opening. There was our friend James was on sharing the start yesterday, but we will have longer and more in-depth sessions the coming days. But if you've got any questions right now, but how do we see those questions? Yeah, we're doing. There's a manual transfer of questions at the moment, so. A lot of Go Damians and a lot of Go Jovisa. A nice switchback route. I don't know. I don't quite follow that. Why not? But
means maybe
like court cuts.
Cuts.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
cuts.
this year's course, and I didn't study it too terribly closely because I was a little jealous of all the 400 runners myself this year. But I went through it with a person who was supposed to be here running the race, and he had plotted his course, and we looked at that versus the reference route, and there were a lot fewer changes that I would have made on this year's route versus the reference than last year. So I don't know if that answers. Is it Wei who asked that question?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I think that there's a lot less opportunity to jump on, say, an asphalt paved road, or to take big cuts. A lot of the times, I think this year's race is on a lot more technical or challenging terrain, and the race has routed, or at least the reference route looked like sometimes would even take very faint trails or roads, not roads, but tracks from cars to get through some of that challenging terrain. So, in summary, I think this year's route has a lot less opportunity to, there's plenty of opportunity, you can do whatever you want, but a lot fewer places where I personally would alter from the reference route than last year, which was quite significant.
Yeah, so it's still early into the race. On day one, we only look at very small part of it accordingly, but we don't know what's after, how the runners would plan. And also for Brian, who didn't sleep overnight, it's a little bit hard for you to really look into and plan. Yeah. So once you fresh after a night of sleep, I think you're gonna have some ideas on that. Even me, I put myself into your shoes. I look into the map. I think there's some point you're gonna alter. You're definitely gonna alter.
Yeah. I mean, I am excited to jump back on the broadcast tomorrow. I wish we had a set time, but We don't yet, but
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get that pretty quickly and share that before tomorrow. Because, I mean, for these runners who've prepared well for this race, they can run a little bit faster or a little bit slower to this point. They haven't slept. There's just, relative to what happens later, a lot less dynamism. Like, they're going. They're not super tired. They're not making mistakes. They're not.
Yet.
But they're yet, and they're not. There's hopefully I mean, we've had, I think, at least 2 withdrawals from the race so far, maybe more. Or do you know of any others?
We don't know yet. We only start overnight. Yeah, it's less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's already quite interesting.
One thing we didn't talk about so far, speaking of night, was the conditions from last night. I was running the 121, and from sundown until sunup, the winds were intense. I wish I could find the right person in headquarters to talk to find out. They had weather stations on the course for the stage race, and I'm guessing they did for the races that are going on still. But the wind was not just gusting, it was a very consistent, same direction. I wouldn't be surprised if it was close, at least not too far from 50 mile an hour, 80 kilometer an hour consistent winds from the same direction. And on the route I was on, it was straight into the headwind, or there was a sideways wind. It was enough to make me lose some vision in my left eye because that was the direction from the wind.
With or without sunglasses?
With wraparound sunglasses, they didn't have full goggles, which are actually required. I had goggles in my pack. I checked all the boxes, but yeah, I've never had that happen in a race. And it wasn't that it was that cold. A lot of runners will start losing their vision, get that cloudy look in their eye if it's cold and dry and maybe windy.
Super windy condition.
But something about the dry air and the wind, and so. But I was out on the course at a very low elevation, lower than anything on last year's Ultra Gobi course, at or below or around 4,000 to 5,000 feet. So, 1,100 to 1,600 meters.
Yes.
And it was scary. I'll be honest. Like, there was not that you could see, like the sand wasn't blocking our view, but there was so much blowing dust. But it would push you around while you were running, or if you stopped to do something and put your back into the wind, it would start to tip you over. And I was out there running a relatively short race, and I was just thinking, like, wow, the 400 runners, they're going to the high point. They're going to 3,000 plus meters. They're going to almost 11,000 feet. So I haven't had an actual report. I should have talked to one of the persons who withdrew and is now back at the headquarters, but I'm sure it was
we will.
I'm sure it was a challenging night for the runners, which adds to the factor of it ups the percentage chance of some interesting things happening later, because if someone's really cold on that first night, if they maybe didn't put on clothes fast enough, or they didn't have quite enough to stay warm with not just the cold, because it gets pretty cold up high on this course. Last year in the race, I want to say it was maybe 15 Fahrenheit, minus 10 Celsius up at the highest points, which were similar to this year. But if you're having a gale force wind, that could be really, really challenging. And saps strength that you just never quite get back, or maybe you're worried about the cold and the wind and you're not eating as much just because I mean, it's hard to describe. Like, I was leaning into and fighting the wind, as opposed to just covering the terrain. Like, it was a huge challenge.
Yeah, if you're a fat boy like me, then you'll be more anchored. Yeah. So that's some sharing from Brand, like firsthand. I also received a short video from him. We could see I think that the flag could be teared apart.
Yeah,
in that way,
the flags are like the checkpoint flags are being shredded.
Yeah.
I was in. I mean, I don't know how to describe the tents, but there's like fixed tents, but there's also these big tents that have maybe half-meter diameter inflatable tubes that give the structure, and they were like a bouncy house for kids. It was like going half over and coming back up, and
being pushed up and pushed.
And they're pretty firm.
Up.
Like they're not.
Yeah. So a quick one that I got my internet back, and
internet.
Both Brian and I can see. We got friends and family actually cheering for our runners. So for all of you in front of the screen, share this link to everybody you know, and tomorrow we'll be online around 10 o'clock.
10 till 2 maybe? Is that the
10?
All right, so we'll be on
That's,
China's all one time zone, and we'll be on from 10 to 2 local time. You can find what the conversion is.
Yeah, I would say it's 4 o'clock in Europe. 4 o'clock in the morning in Europe.
This is when we start. Yeah.
When we start until.
And that's late in the
8,
evening in the States.
10 or something like that. 8 or 9, something like that.
Yeah.
So
it's a little challenging to. I know we have audience in both the U.S. and Europe. It's a little challenging to try to cover both ends of the spectrum.
And for Africa is the same.
Same as not to dismiss that, but I'm talking about those time zones.
Exactly. But for now, let's go back to our race video that we had. Maybe have a quick look on. For some of you just joined us in the live stream, we show you what we had in the race start last night. That was something.
It was quite a spectacle.
Something we don't see normally, I would say. Let's move to the screen there. Okay, that's not the beginning of it. But I will.
We're learning as we go, folks. We're learning as we go.
Our colleague will put it to the start and let everybody watch it from the beginning.
Fortunately, we have 6 days to figure things out, kind of like the Gobi runners themselves.
Let's try something.
Hi, Nikki. One of our South African followers, runners from last year's, commenting on the live chat. So, hey, Nikki. Wish y'all were here. Damien was talking about you, and Damien, one of this year's runners, was talking about you and Benny. So, it's a small family, but there is an Ultra Gobi 400 family.
Okay, so now on the screen is, I think it's your race.
No, this is the A race. This is that was just me.
I think that was your race. Now we're back to Ultra Gobi start. Yeah, that's how we started last night.
So that was last year's female champion.
Yes, Junyue won the Ultra Gobi 400 last year, and now we have her to showcase the beauty.
Was she wearing her cool uniform? Or cool?
She did.
She had a spectacular dress, and I feel comfortable saying that. It's an old Chinese.
Yeah, ancient style.
Ancient style, beautiful red dress.
Yeah, she said that's tailor-made by herself. She's a fashion fashion designer. So
she did a good job.
Yeah, she's.
I felt underdressed when I was with my fellow champion.
But all the horse riding, passing the torch, this is something. I wish I was there. I was organizing the entrance. But
I wish I was there because then I wouldn't have run 120.
It's kind of ancient into modern, to the cube, to the lighting.
So I don't know what the inspiration was for the cube itself, but on the drive here from the two cities to the north, there's a bunch of landscape style art, like large. There's the Child of Earth, I believe is the translation.
This modern art.
The creepy baby laying in the sand. or the running monk, or
Running monk. We have the running monk. We have actually the portrait, the head portrait.
oh yeah, the hat.
Of one of the famous emperor from the Han Dynasty.
Okay.
Yeah, this is more like what the Greek did with Caesar and all that.
Yeah. And then there's I don't even.
the
There's a new
Romans.
one, a weird castle type thing out of white stick.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
it's modern art in the
modern
desert.
art, yeah.
But it's a
when we
tour.
get a chance, we'll showcase that.
It's like I mean, it's a tourist thing. Like there's pullouts for all of them, so people go check them out. But
Oh, Nikki just said, I wish I was there again too. We wish we had you, Nikki and Benny.
yeah.
And
Oh
Richard
man,
from
our
Africa.
South African contingent last year was amazing.
Yeah, that was really nice. That was really nice. The whole batch of people. But look at this year. Back to the overall. There's nothing changed. There's nothing changed in the overall ranking. We can see Cordy is leading still, following with Aaron from the US, then Jovisa from Serbia,
yeah.
from Serbia, and Sangi from Nepal. Then comes to Brother Ni from China, then Damien, lots of people are cheering for you. And then Matthias.
Damien. Well, actually, there's a whole bunch of kids in this race.
Yes,
But he might be the youngest. I think is he 23 or 24?
Damien's 29, I believe.
He just looks like a.
Yeah, Cody's, I think, is the youngest. Cody is the youngest, following with a few guys, Matthew, Yang Jianguo.
So just something to keep in mind. I need to check, but when you're looking at the live map, obviously the details of how exactly where they are in terms of, you have to keep in mind that it's a GPS ping, and that could be 10 minutes ago, or if it's sitting weird in their pack, it could be a little bit longer. So
if they happen to turn the GPS the other way around, it's not facing the satellite, so they might have to wait a little bit to have the signal back online.
You can't, like, especially say if there's a race for a position later on, like at the very end, like if they're close, assume that they could be together, or the person in second is in first. It just
yes.
But then again, on the other hand, like Jovisa, excuse me, he could still be in that checkpoint, but he could also have left 15 minutes ago. And
you never know.
But
the GPS is,
and that's not just this system. That's any GPS-based live tracking. So always just take a grain of salt of this. Gives you a general perspective.
Yes. It takes a bit of time for the GPS to link with the system, to link with the satellite to get back. The feed on each individual might not be the same. So just take it as a reference.
More like, and it was interesting when we were looking at on the women's side, we were looking at somebody's specific track. I guess it was Lucy's.
Yes. We can still go back to Lucy.
But just to give an example of, you can see it's pretty accurate when they get a ping. When they get a point, it's so. And the reason I raise that is now Aaron is, at least per the GPS, not on the reference route.
But
just zoom in where on her route, like pretty close somewhere. It doesn't have to be anywhere. Just keep zooming in, so you can see she's on. It's not her points are not deviating significantly from the reference route. I mean, she's following it. Whereas opposed to I'm looking at Aaron on the map right now, and he's halfway between the reference route and the highway. So I don't know if that means he's like having trouble with the train. Actually, it looks like there's a little wash.
Yeah, maybe that's an easy riverbed.
And that is a smart strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's not always the shortest route. It's often looking for
how Aaron is taking the route. We should be able to see how he planned to go.
Did they have this same ability last year to look back at the routes?
I think so.
Man, I wish I could. I wish I could go back and check out last year's route. Maybe you'll have to coach me on that, because we'll zoom in on where he is now, because maybe it's just not pinging. Okay, so I would not actually suggest that he's all, or because there's no other pings. That's just going to be that's a
drifting a little bit maybe.
But that's a drift in terms of the data we're getting. That's not he could very well be on the course if he hasn't got a ping for that long.
There's a chance he's still in that checkpoint.
No. He's well up the course. It's just a matter of.
We will see once we have the pins.
But no, my point is that we don't have any pins from that. His satellite tracker's in his pack somewhere, and on the other hand, Yovisa is chugging right along on the recommended route. We do have. So right now on my map, I see Yovisa quote unquote ahead of Aaron, but Yovisa's latest data is from 4:25 local time, and Aaron's is from 4:07. So 18 minutes difference in the two most recent pings. So that doesn't mean Yovisa has passed Aaron. That's
exactly.
That's when you have to sort of like put your thinking cap on and be like, oh, yes.
Exactly.
But obviously Yovisa's out of that checkpoint where we don't know if he spent that much time, but
it'll be very interesting to see them live once we have the live feed on.
Yeah. So you'll have to get me, Jack. You'll have to get me the latest links that you have for this tracking, because mine is obviously an old one because I don't have all the bells and whistles you do in terms of being able to click into their coordinates.
So we're just gonna quickly also go in to see how the ladies are doing. Nothing really changed.
Yeah.
Before we take a quick break.
Oh, we're here and we got some footage from the race course. Well, we'll give us some video. We're going to get some live or recent video from the course with both the men's and women's leader, I believe. Oh, we got a hang loose sign. We're going to get some video here.
Cool. This is our female leader, Junye. From what she's wearing,
it looks cold.
And heavy duty gloves. I believe that's waterproof glass. Beside him is I think it's Yang, it's the Chinese male runner. I think they're together.
Now, what's interesting here is I didn't really I commented on the wind from the 121 yesterday. In the afternoon, in the middle and late afternoon, it got really hot out. Not very hot, but it was like warm. It was like impactfully warm. And they are at they're CP11, so I'm looking at the elevation. Yeah, they're down low again. They're at like 14, almost 1,500 meters. Actually, the map's a little, yeah. So they're at a relatively low elevation. They're just a little under a mile high. And if it was a sunny afternoon, it would be pretty hot. But as you can see, there's an overcast sky, which is probably what led to the wind yesterday.
Exactly.
There could be precipitation somewhere. I don't think it's on the course. But
that I doubt.
Yeah.
You have to be very high.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Last year's race, like, you could be down on the course, and there's really, really tall mountains around here. Like, there are snow mountains, as they call them in China. And you'd see it snowing, and you were in a blue sky, everything, but up high there was precipitation. And that differential of having moisture somewhere in this really dry air and not having it rain or snow somewhere, it creates a wind.
Yeah. So if you look at the screen now, they literally in a small valley.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a river crossing. Maybe not in this season, but
no, yeah, this is
yes, all the. For example, in the winter there will be lots of snow in the mountain,
and it will melt
out, and this should be rivers at a certain point. That's why you have all the grass.
And it's actually hard to I had a couple times in looking at last year's route before the race where I would look at satellite imagery, and a water course like this would show water in it. And so I'll pack a whole bunch of extra socks or something like that, and it's dry because you just don't, unless you actually like try to find out what time of year that data was from. You don't know if that's, but I'm sure any of the runners coming down this are happy it's dry. One of the nice things about Ultra Gobi is, for the most part, you can keep dry feet, or you know where there's going to be multiple water crossings, and you can have a change of socks or a change of shoes at the next rest point, and it really is great for foot preservation, which is a huge issue at a race this long.
So we did have a bit of a rain here and there. That's the checkpoint.
Yeah.
Cody into the checkpoint.
From last night. Okay, this is going back in time.
So, as we mentioned, this is not checkpoint. This is our station, resting station.
You can see the boxes back in they were in the shot there for a second. So I wonder if this is like right in the morning, like right at first light. I would suspect. So maybe would that be R2?
Yeah, early this morning.
That would be my guess. It was at R2 this morning.
Yeah, you can see the sun is going out a little bit.
But again, all day today it's been overcast, which is really rare to have it this overcast all day. And it doesn't look like it's going to rain.
Yeah, again, look at that's the drop box.
Yeah.
Nicely sorted there before you get in.
And you can have quite a bit of stuff, which is good and bad, because if you have a lot of stuff, you have to sort through it. My strategy was to just dump everything on the floor of the tent, and anything I didn't need, I went back in the box. And
quick and
boom,
easy.
Everything I had to touch, so I never forgot something. Like if I needed something, it had to go through my hand to get back in the box. But
yeah, we can
just a
see,
short clip of Cody leading earlier, first thing this morning.
Very good pacing, yeah. Very good pacing.
Yeah.
If he can keep this throughout the 400K, we're looking at a new record, yeah. I regret to say, Brian,
quite a bit.
Your race record will be.
I mean, I was saying
no longer there in this way.
I was saying after last year's race, which is obviously a different course, as it is every year, that on last year's course, well under 60 hours was possible.
Yes.
I mean, it's. I don't know about this year's course. Like, you just so much. Unlike a lot of races, it's not the elevation change, the vertical change isn't what dictates the time of the race, the length. It really is what the footing is like, what the weather conditions are like. Those can be a huge change. Like, it really is hard to describe how much slower I was going with the wind yesterday.
On the screen now is our runner, Mr. Park from South Korea. You can see
we have a South Korean in the race. That's great. I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah. He was here many years ago, I think.
The Gobi has a way of getting into your soul.
Exactly. 2018, I believe. He was here, and he has been dreaming about coming back. Here we go. We have Mr. Park back from South Korea.
Was that from?
And this is R1, resting station 1 from last night.
Last night, yeah. Clearly, it's a night shot. So we have a runner. Is that a live cam on a runner at the moment? It looks like roughly this kind of time of day.
Let's have a look at the course. Okay, that's number 5, Brother Ni.
Brother Ni.
Ni Sheng, our marathon master. He
All
has
right.
done over 500 marathon.
Wow.
He has done. He's also doing trail running. As we mentioned, his longest distance was 200K. And now we see the landscape behind at the background.
Oh, number 5, you mean as in fifth position? Yeah, sorry.
Position.
I was like trying to look for number 5. I'm like, that would have to be one of the original generals.
No, the 5th. Position 5th.
Yep.
So you can see the landscape, rocky, a little gravel, with the mountain right by the side.
And so this is, if they're able to, there is a dirt road, so that's not that slow of a terrain. Otherwise, if this kind of stuff, what is going on there? Well, that's something.
Okay.
Did somebody drop a can of red paint?
Must be the signal is stopping us, but we can go.
But
back.
sometimes this is what you can see. Like this is clearly there's only the reference route that you would go down, but it's not fast. Like that kind of drives home my point of.
To me, it's
like
technical. It's all loose stones,
and
you need to be careful, especially.
It's loose stones, but it's also just like loose, like so it just takes your energy. It just like the rocks move.
Exactly.
Not fast terrain at all. Oh, this is back to the women's leader.
It's frozen. Let me cut to another one. Okay, back to Mr. Park again. Yeah, we can put a bit of wrist clips, and then you and I can have a quick break.
Yeah.
Also check about some technical issue, and we will be back in 10 minutes.
8倍特工马修，10月4号凌晨7点6:59啊，7点差1分，要记住058号选手。
So we were talking about the drone footage we can have from the course. This is not the big drone. This is the small flying drone.
Flying drone, I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
But also give you an idea on the terrain.
Again, this is classic Gobi terrain. Sometimes it's flat, sometimes it's hilly like this, but just like everything is covered in small rocks. Sometimes it's really nice to run down this when you have a double track, a primitive road. Other times, I found myself last night, sometimes these road, the actual tracks from the cars can be filled with really fine dust and actually be slower, and you'll actually want to run off to the side of the road where it's maybe firmer and easier to run on. So again, that just speaks to whether it's in this route finding or just where you're running. Like maybe he's running between the tracks right now, and that could just be slightly firmer, kind of counterintuitively a better line to run.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of just trying to be as efficient.
I guess it depends on where you are. It could be soft, could be harder.
Yeah.
It doesn't apply the same rule when you come across. So all this, it's just, you need to be here. I would say you need to be here.
It's crazy. Like you're always thinking. Always having to make decisions and choices. You could be on the same road down a river valley, primitive road down a river valley, dry river valley for a marathon length, and the whole time you're deciding, do I cut the little corners between the meanders of the roadbed and the river? Are you going on this side of the left track or the right track or between the two tracks? You're always have choices and decisions to make, which is really engaging. I personally love that aspect.
Yeah, look at the screen now. The runner is going through this, I would say, a road. But imagine there's no road and you have to traverse that. Then at 2 meters away, you have to climb up, and you don't know the roads. Then it's gonna be difficult and technical. But they're lucky on this session. They don't have to do that. I remember last year before R8, there's lots of traverse beside the riverbed. It's like you go 5 meters down, you don't see where you are.
No, but even the last, not to jump ahead too much, but even the last few, like 4 kilometers, come up a small, we're at Gobi Springs, and there's a small creek down a canyon, and some runners will try to, between the different turns, runners will jump up the bank onto a dry single track, or you're running through the stream bed. There's not a lot of water, but there's water and really small pebbles that compact and are kind of hard to run on. So there's just choosing.
Yeah, that's
to the end,
why,
to the very end.
I heard lots of people are actually jumping. Yes, so I want to avoid the river crossing. I want to jump on the stone and all that. They cannot.
No,
Eventually, they go back to the riverbed and go through the water.
Yeah, just go up the riverbed.
And just look at this. You are alone in the middle of a Gobi Desert. You follow a small track. You see, even the landscape is changing. You see the little, I wouldn't say a peak.
No, but there's hills.
Looks like this and that, and you're alone. Your mind is going around, and everything changes.
But this feels like a canyon because you can't see out of it. It's not little hills like this, and we can't see even further out. There could be even higher peaks around this, and we don't know which runner this is, so we can't correlate that to where on the route it is. But the race course continually cuts through, not continually, on occasion you'll just pass through these little river valleys, or not river valleys, sorry, mountain ranges that aren't very big or wide. It's just, if you look at the map of the route, you'll see darker patches that are just these little mountains, and you'll follow a river channel through them because that's obviously the easiest way to get through.
Yeah, now it's just a riverbed. But remember last year when Sangi did it, he did something quite technical.
I still haven't figured out where that is because I never had anything technical on the route.
Exactly, every runner did this Ultra Gobi, but they all have different experience. Oh, now we see the landscape a little bit better.
Oh, and this, I know where this is because this will open up to the big east-west highway that goes from Dunhuang to the
Here
east.
we are.
And there's a little open terrain getting down to that highway.
The color looks the same now, but remember partially when they are near the river, it looks amazing with the golden-ish color trees. This is autumn. Oh my God, that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah, the running up Gobi Springs this morning.
Yeah.
The yellows on some of the trees were amazing, especially. So I ran that at night last year, and then I went back and ran in with the last finisher also at night. So I didn't see it during the day, and to see it at sunrise, it was just tremendous.
Oh, look at this.
So they were going to be following the fifth place man, the Chinese man, the top Chinese man, is I think who they may have been following.
Possible.
Maybe not, but they were going toward the highway, so it had to be. Because that's the main.
And
yeah.
I think the drone is not really doing anything. Just
anymore.
Give us something fixed. The wrinkle from Mother Earth. That's how I call it.
Or that could have been Sangay. It's one of either the fourth or fifth place man because they were descending.
So basically, it could be the fifth man.
Yeah.
Ni Yushang.
I think it was
towards the checkpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you see the landscape.
Because if we I'll let you zoom in on here, but go to the men's and then zoom out, and we'll see. You can see
see him actually doing it.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like much, but that's the tricky thing is like you just.
It looks flat, but it's not definitely.
And so it's but if you go up high, like if you zoom out a little bit, zoom out to show the other direction, that's a big highway.
Yeah.
Like that's a major highway. But there's a shoulder. I remember running on that in the race in 2015 for some quicker action.
We're doing a comparison. We used our GPS tracker and also to compare the live stream. How that looks like. Our drone footage looks really nice.
Yeah. What camera is that?
The first one?
Yeah, the bottom.
Not moving.
It's not moving, but that's some spectacular terrain.
Yeah.
Just to give you a shot of that really quick. That's the
picture.
camera photo. That's just a picture, but that's.
It looks like a picture to me.
But again, we talk about the big, flat, wide open Gobi, and there is lots of that. But then you are punctuated by scenes like this, where you're just in a river canyon, dry usually, with huge mountains around you, like just hugging you. So, yeah.
Then
that's so cool, yeah.
Now we're going back to this. So it's different from what people would think Ultra Gobi. Ultra Gobi must be in the Gobi Desert. It's all flat, got nothing.
Maybe big sand dunes.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe. Yeah, all the
and there are no dunes on this course this year.
Yeah.
We went past some last year,
No.
but not really. Didn't really actually go through them.
No.
But in 2015, there was a section that went for 5 or 6 kilometers directly through dune. I learned how to use a compass very quickly. Literally, I pulled it out of my pack. It was required gear, and I'm like, I need to remember this from when I was a kid. How do I use a compass and take a bearing and continue on it?
I heard that some runner actually prepared that. They printed the whole route out.
Oh yeah.
And they took the compass with them. So this is fully prepared how to do that and how to navigate.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't have to do that.
Hopefully. But there's also a fun way to do it. I think maybe 1 year when we want to do it in a
No GPS.
a more vintage way. No GPS, no phone, no watch. I'll give you a map, we'll give you a compass, you will do it yourself. And we'll have a limited number of people. We'll give you the training to do it.
Sign me up.
see who can do it. Yeah. So
Good-
now
good-
we have one runner already.
Good luck getting safety approval for that one. You can have a watch, but it just can only have the time.
Yeah, I think with a bit of a development in the trail running world, we will have that eventually. This is the way how human started to navigate in the sea, on the land. That's how the Silk Road people would
Yeah.
do. You know, travel eastbound, westbound. They look at the moon, they look at the stars,
Then look at the terrain.
they look at.
No, but you do. Like
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to be like, I can
Yeah.
go through there, or I
Yeah,
can't go through there.
Exactly. So let me go to number 2. Yeah, again, which runner that is on our screen? Looks beautiful. The
Oh, but they're very close to something from the. There was just a flag that could have been from one of the other races. That doesn't quite make sense. It's funny. I'm like squinting a little bit. My eyes are tired
Yeah.
from
Cannot
all of
really
the
see
wind.
numbers. Cannot really see the numbers.
No, we can't quite identify what runner that is because
The definition is.
we have like 4 people looking at screens real closely and no luck.
That's Uvesa. Okay.
Oh, Uvesa, okay.
Uvesa.
Just getting to a
actually
checkpoint.
Checking in at Uvesa. Checking in, I believe.
He's at the end of that section, so.
Yeah. So.
Yep, CP12.
CP12. Okay,
So Aaron's
Uvesa.
through that section, about to cross under, I assume under the highway. I had to go through one of those last night. So under these highways, there'll often be underpasses for water flow for like flooding events, and runners pass under those there. I mean, they don't have to, but
Yeah, let's see. But now on the screen is a typical checkpoint. Yeah, we said
This
it's
is
a
a-
smaller
this-
tent.
there's 3-4 people there. He's sitting. Oh, actually, he has a camp chair. That's a luxury. A lot of times there's just a little 12-inch tall, maybe 25 centimeter, 30 centimeter tall stool that you're sitting on, which if you're not used to, it's actually really tiring. There's a little table there. He's just drinking from a little bottle of room temperature water or ambient temperature water. He can have as many of those as he wants. He'll fill his bottles with that, but it's kind of, people will, I want to say that there's no like assistance from the checkpoint, but they'll hand you a thing of water. They'll offer to screw a top on or something, but it's not like.
We say self-support, but in the checkpoint, it's hand you a bottle of water.
Yeah, but it's pretty minimal.
I don't think that will reduce your time dramatically for 2 hours. By getting a bottle of water.
But you can see there's literally one vehicle, one. I mean, it's more than a 4. It's a 4 comfortable tent for 4 people, but like. The reason for the time limit on staying in those tents is that.
Here we go, he's out.
Yeah, typical. I mean, like
That's a
during the day and if
quick
everything's
in and out.
like a minute or 2, there's not really any.
Yeah.
He sat down because it's nice to, even if you take a 1-minute break, just sitting.
relaxing, yeah? Relaxing.
Yeah, it makes a difference. It's really a good strategy. Like, yeah, you're technically wasting time, but no, you're not. Like, just relieving your legs for a minute while you're filling your bottles and having a drink. He's got I don't want to say a reasonably large pack, but you never know how much is in somebody's pack. Like they come, it's probably a 25-liter pack, and it could be totally full or it could be just volume.
Even if it looks big, it could be super light.
Yeah.
So we will weigh them when they come back to see.
I do have a gram scale with me.
See.
Never travel without it.
Now we can do it. When we invite them over in the live stream, we will use that to show people.
Really, the heaviest thing in those packs is the runners are required. I haven't checked this year's regulations, but usually I think -5 or -10?
Comfortable.
Comfort rating, which is very
comfort
important.
rating.
It's is it -10?
5.
5. -5 Celsius comfort rating, which is roughly a 20-degree comfort rating in Fahrenheit. But that's not very, this became an issue last year. That is not what a manufacturer sells a sleeping bag at. You might see the X brands Y, something 20 Fahrenheit bag, and that's actually a comfort rating of like 35 Fahrenheit. So,
yeah. Well, as part of the the risk committee, I'm in charge of that to verify the
verification of the
verification with that, to communicate with all the runners.
So they don't show up because was it 2 years ago that the winner had, or second, was it the winner?
Yeah.
It didn't have the regulation bag and had to run with a huge sleeping bag tucked behind. It was too big to fit in their pack because it wasn't the ideal one, and tucked behind their bag, between their back and their bag.
That was the last minute shopping in Dunhuang. They have to look for that, otherwise they won't be able to start the race. Period. So to do that is purely for the safety concern.
Of course.
Based on our 10 years plus knowledge on what we do in Gobi, what the runners could face in Gobi, so we consider that's really necessary.
You often think of, this is dry, often you think of deserts as hot, and it can be hot even this time of year, relatively hot in the afternoon, but cold. Every time I've been at Gobi, it's a factor. It's more of a factor than the heat.
Yeah, so last year the temperature difference is about 40 degrees.
And including it was -10, I think, at the high point.
Exactly.
And that was with no wind. It was like, if you had adequate clothing, it was fine. But what if you get injured and have to stop? And that did happen. Not injured, but in 2015.
Yeah.
There were runners that had to stop. And I think the regulation was actually for a slightly less warm bag was permitted. And they changed the regulation to be...
also because the runner took something not really...
That didn't meet the...
it's a different standard by that time, and the runner didn't really follow exactly. They think in their country this standard.
Yeah. So
they pay the price, and we also learned from that afterwards. That's why we relatively strict comparing to what the normal race would require.
Oh yeah.
But I think the runners now, when they are here, they understood, especially when they're on the course.
Yeah.
They spend a night or two. They would understand why we are actually asking that.
And it's interesting because it might be a little too warm for in the rest points itself, but I know during the race last year I got really, really sleepy before getting to a rest point, and I considered actually calling into the race headquarters to saying I'm going to take an hour nap on the edge of the road. And it was a really cold time, but my bag would have let me do that. Do we have any interesting comments there? Well, somebody's asking for how Cody's doing. Well, Cody's in the lead by a good bit at the moment.
So Cody is at kilometer 155, leading.
And the other runners the next place is about 145. This is all rough. We're not going to double check what time the pings were, but he has roughly a 10-kilometer lead at this point, one full checkpoint.
One checkpoint away, basically.
He's going through a really cool area. If I remember is he going through a little town now? Or he's going through I feel like this was on my race yesterday, but I'm so tired that it was. Yeah, he's going through the outskirts of the town whose name I'm not going to pronounce. Guazhou. I'm just going to write that down. It's not that hard to say, but it's just it hasn't clicked in my mind yet.
You need a good night's sleep, then we talk tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. I'll have my briefing. But this is a fun little area. There's all these little shops and houses. And I'm going to guess that R14 R4 and CP14 is where one of my checkpoints was yesterday.
I see.
That would have been checkpoint That was checkpoint 4 in the 121 yesterday. I'm just gonna guess it's the same building.
Okay, cool. Team Campbell. Team Campbell. So, if you can log on ultragobiseries.com, you will find all the information. I believe the live stream link is
Click on news at the top of the
News on the
screen,
top
and
of
it'll
the
be the most
screen.
recent article. And you can find photos. You can find the live tracking. The map is awesome. Like, I don't know. I love maps, and I love scrolling through them. So, it's just really cool to see.
So now we see Cordy, I believe. Oh no, Aaron. Aaron was on the second place.
But that's a rest point, so
Yeah,
that's earlier. That's earlier.
That's earlier.
Yeah.
On the screen.
That might have been first thing this morning at R2 or R3. Excuse me. No, that was
CP6 now.
We're jumping around.
It's
Sorry.
jumping. This is a live. I believe it's live from
Okay.
the course.
Oh.
I would say, Brian, the wind is slightly weaker than last night. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
If you look at the
flag
now.
But that's also not definitive because you can see there's mountains around, so that could break the wind as well. The wide open flats down low next to that highway, also where Cody is. If the wind was like yesterday, he'd be having a very stiff headwind of. I might be exaggerating, but it felt like 50 miles an hour, 80 kilometer an hour wind from the east, which is the direction that Cody's heading now. And I don't think that's the case now, but it doesn't look quite as windy where we are up here at Gobi Springs, but it was intense yesterday. So.
Good. We have quite a bit of different landscapes to show. Now we have the drone footage.
Yeah, drone footage.
Let's see that. Okay. Is that a camel in the middle?
We're at a little bit of a disadvantage. We have two very bright lights in front of us.
And bland.
Yeah, we need it. Do those have an adjustment to be a wrap up? The Gobi terrain from about 1 foot up. That is Gobi pebbles right there.
I think that the drones actually stopped.
Yeah, on the ground.
The
That is
ground.
drone footage live on the ground.
This is actually what you were talking about.
Yeah.
What the runners are going through. Yeah, it looks flat, but it's not.
Yeah.
It could be rocky, could be slightly pointing here and there.
Yeah.
Let's switch.
But I think we're gonna start wrapping things up for the day. Just to go through what's happening at the moment, we've got Cody from the U.S. in the lead, just passed through checkpoint 13 and he's about 155 kilometers in. Next would be Aaron from the U.S. as well. He's about 145 kilometers in, and Jovica from Serbia is in third.
Where's Sangi?
Oh, I don't know. My map just went crazy on me. Sange's in fourth. 135. Which is interesting. I mean, like, we're seeing like a 10 kilometer difference between first and then second and third, and another 10 kilometers back to fourth. And fifth is not that far behind fourth.
CP10, fifth.
But these are early going. Like, you can kind of see that the top 5 men are kind of broken ahead of the rest of the field. But 10 kilometers is a short nap. 10 kilometers is going on a slightly poorer route or better route. So
doesn't mean anything at this stage. We just need to wait and see. So we have the top 5-6 men on the screen. You can see Cordy, Aaron, Jovica, Sangi, and New Sheng. Damien from South Africa.
Yeah, and if we
So-
want to go take a look at the women.
Okay, quickly. Oh, Junior, last year's winner, still here
Yeah.
leading. Then Guo Yang. The top three remain the same. Guo Yang, Jimber, Lucy,
But
who
yeah,
who is number 4 for quite a while, I believe.
but unlike the men's race, I mean, I guess we have 7 women all within 15 kilometers or so. Because there's those 4 through Lucy, but then there's 3 more women possibly running together or near one another. Melissa, Sonia,
Sonia.
and a Chinese runner who's a really cool hat on.
Yeah, Wang Changchang. I love her hat. It's
I don't know what it is because it's.
quite colorful. I think it's a lioness.
I think it is a lion. I love the lion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me click her
No.
icon. Ah, that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to wrap things up for today, but look forward to chatting and bringing you a lot more coverage tomorrow. We're going to have a session from 10 to 2 Chinese Standard Time, so do that conversion on your end because we've got people following from all over the world, and
Yeah, been good for a few hours with you, Brent.
yeah, likewise, Jack. This is fun.
Yeah, let's do it tomorrow. And if you want to know anything, you want to look at your runner, you can always go to Ultra Gobi.
UltraGobiSeries.com
yes.
and click the news link, and the first article will have the live tracking. If you're watching the streaming, you already know where we are,
Yeah.
but also photos are posted there regularly.
Exactly.
And we'll be back tomorrow when we're doing the coverage. You can leave comments, and we'll try to get to them. And
Yep.
thanks for watching.
Thank you from China, from Gobi. See you tomorrow.
Whew.